All right, hello, my name is Sophie. I'm going to be going through the back end on PG Cares' website. And what we're going to focus on today is this Pages tab. Of course, you can explore the other ones and play with drafts, make drafts, and just make things. But I'm going to go to these pages, which are obviously the pages on the website. Right here, we have a page that is not currently visible. And so I'm going to use this as an example for today. Just go and edit this page. And you can see it takes you just to this back end thing, which is not really fun to use. So if we go to here, the front end editor, it is actually a lot simpler. And so you see all of these things are popping up that you can edit. So if you go into any sort of text box, you can go in here, edit the text. Quite simple. I don't really worry about much of all of this stuff. Like, yeah, if you want to change the text color, you can do that. Always make sure the default font family is clicked yes, because then we can have everything being looking the same on our website here. And yeah, like this, if you're wanting to move the text maybe just like slightly to the right here, you can add padding and make it like give it some margins and just move it. Margin. Okay. But yeah, we're not gonna worry too much about that. It really is just like messing around and trying what's good, working on that. And so yeah, you can edit anything here. You have these icons that you can edit. You can edit the text here. The let HTML, let's stay away from that. Yeah, that one's pretty simple. Oh, we didn't need to save that. Oh yeah, but after everything that you change, you do want to save the changes, but then also you want to make sure you update the page. If you like refresh the page back, like leave the page or go to the back end, anything that you didn't update will not save, which is unfortunate, but even if you do click save changes, you have to update it. But any individual changes that you make, you do have to click save changes here, unless like you close out, it won't do anything. Anyway, so we're gonna work on these right here, these little elements. They're not looking very nice, and so I'm just gonna walk through real quick. So we see like they kind of don't fit. And if we try to change the size, when you're in a text box, you can only really pick these kind of formats. You can't really change the font or the size directly. You have to do these. So the smallest one, heading or paragraph, it kind of just doesn't fit. I want it to be in a straight line. And so what I'm going to try to do is make this column wider. And so how to do that, I believe, we can here. Oh yeah, so this, it really is just an exploring thing. Be like, okay, I have a goal. I'm going to try to meet this goal. And so I clicked that button. It took me here. This is all the different elements that I could add. Like I could add another text box, or I can add a button, or I can add a picture, but I don't want that. What I want is to, oh, yeah, edit the column. The background is this the box that the column is in, while the color overlay is the entire page. Like if I show you down here, or actually up here, this, see how it's completely filled in from side to side. Oh, I guess, wait, where is it? Ah, or I don't even know. Don't listen to me. We're gonna just go back to our problem here. Um, yes, so here, change layout. And so you see here, we can change the different sizes. So right now we might have that. So let's click this and see if it changes it. It did, and I want that. So we're gonna update that. But as you can see, you can have all of these different layouts that like separate the information and you can change it, have it however you want. But that's perfect. This is what I want here. And so I want to make these the same size. I gotta save the changes before I exit out, but I also have to update the page. It's kind of tedious, but it is important. So let's look down here. It seems kind of wide, right? Like we have all these dividers here that might not seem necessary, but actually, if we go back to the back end and then go to this preview button up here, this will show us what the website actually looks like to a customer or someone that's coming to the website. And so this gives us the correct spacings. For some reason, the back end just gives you a little bit different spacing. So look how much nicer that is. It's just a normal little box. For some reason, he just looks so fat in the back end. But so that is something to check as you change things, like make sure it looks okay in the front end, even though in the back end it might look okay, in the front it may not. Oh, this thing's in the way of my tab. That is unfortunate. That's good enough. All right. So we're going to go back to the front end here. And so if you see how like this backdrop has this cool little degrade thing and the image in the background, I do not know how to do that. And I don't know, that is probably someone that we would have to pay to figure out how to do that. But what we were able to do to get that on our page, like if there's an element on a page that you're wanting, but you don't know how to make it, what you can do is go to the other pages, duplicate the page, and then you have this duplicate. You may want to like change the name. And so you can just do that by we're just gonna name this draft. It's draft. What do you mean it's not saved? Whatever. It is saved. Now we have this element here, and I just made a whole new page that I can totally like destroy all of this, and I can add whatever I want, and it still has all that pretty nice stuff. And it has like formats that I don't have to do. And so we're kind of like stealing off of our own templates, which is very nice because then you don't have to start from scratch, which is never fun. So if we, oh yeah, see, we have this little button here. Say we were wanting to move this button. You just grab this little guy and you see this every time he kind of jumps, he's like moving past something. So right there, there's probably a divider in the way, keeping the space between it and the words right here. But if we were wanting to move him down, we can do that. Put him right here or down here, wherever we want. We're just gonna put him there. Oh, and we can't see him. So let's see if we can change his color. We can change his color. So we're gonna do that. We can do black, or we could paste in some of our code colors, which I do not have with me right now, but say this is our code blue that we have for PG blue. Let's save that and we can see him again. And there he is. He kind of does this, yeah, little animation thing that I don't know how he does. All right. So we have different texts, which I've noticed. We have custom heading text, but we also have a text box text, which are the two I would deal with most. The gradient text and the other rotating one I haven't messed with, but it like messing with things is how you figure them out. And so messing with those would be a good idea if you're wanting to find something new. But with these, what I've learned is with the text box, it is easier to type a lot of text, but it is more difficult to customize. So if you were wanting to change the text, you can only pick from these forms from these sizes, and like, yeah, you can bold it, you can italicize it, but not much else. You can add links, you can change that like how you would in a Word document, but you can't change it like Comic Sans or Times New Romans. Like you can't do that, which is fine because this is at our default text, which is what we want. So we're just going to say that because why not? But here we have a custom heading, which is different. It looks like a text box, but it's different. And so it's custom text. We can do more with it. So you can change the text color. Can you, yeah, I think you can do that with the text box too. This, you want to make sure you're using your default font family. Unless you are wanting a new font, you can choose one. It is more difficult. You have to like know, oh, never mind. You can just pick a font, but it is ideal to stay with the font family because it keeps it all smooth. But this is easier to like change the size. You can make it all a bunch of different sizes, and I think it's easier to change its color. Yes, that's what it was. So for some reason, we are unable to choose the color of the text box. I am unsure why. If we make another text box in this column, I believe it stays white. Yes, but like, say I were to change this background to black. I wanted it black. If I were to make another text box here under this black background, this text would still be black. I'm unsure why. I think that is still like just something that's kind of out of our control. And so if you're wanting to change text color and it's not like, and you're unsure if you're going to be able to or not, just do a custom heading. Custom headings will always allow you to change the text color. You can make it more unique. Yeah, like you can't, I can't turn this blue, for example. Like if I wanted these little blue lines here, this is a custom heading. This couldn't be a text box. I can't make that blue. Another thing, like these dividers are very helpful. You can change the pixels, but like I said before, the what you see here isn't exactly what the customer is going to see. So you always want to make sure when you change something in the and spacing to that it looks okay from the customer's point of view. But you can change the thickness of these lines up to 10. It can be a small line or a full length. Dividers are very nice. But it can also just be blank. Like there's probably a blank one around here somewhere. Blank divider. Right here. An invisible little guy, but it makes it look a lot better. And that's just something like if you click here or down here on a column, you can just add another element and you can search up a divider and there's a divider. And then you can put in the height. Pixels are really small. It's like a size of a grain of rice or like half of a grain of rice. So like 10 pixels is like a centimeter, I would say, if that. So just like kind of keep that kind of measurement in mind. If you're wanting an element that you aren't really finding, like here, this is something I've ran into. So a single image, if I were to like, we're gonna add someone else, we're gonna add another person. All of your files save, as you can see, like previous ones that we've uploaded. We're just gonna do another one of this. Save the changes. We're adding a new member. Wow, okay. It has it doesn't look the same. It's not rounded. I'm not sure how these got rounded, and I don't know how to do it. But so what we're gonna do is duplicate this. This is a duplicate button, this delete button, edit button, move button. But I'm just gonna duplicate it and move it over. And I want to find that green lines telling me where it's going, and right here. I want it right there. It's like that's not the right person, but I can edit it and change it to who I want it to be. Save changes. and then I'm not going to save this draft, but you would click update to keep it updated, but I'm not going to save this because this is just an example. But yeah. What else? Buttons. These buttons are fun. So you can change different sizes of buttons. You can do margins, like if it's looking like it's in a weird spot, you can try to just put in numbers to see if it's moving in the direction you want it to. What is that? Yeah, so I guess you could paste any link in here. That's a different page for this website. Styling, here we go. So there's all these different styles, and you can just pick through whatever you want, whatever looks good, all these different colors, and you can choose a color. What? I don't know what that is. For some reason, it only lets you use colors within the theme, which is, I guess, fine, because those are the colors we're going to be using anyways. There was some way that I added more of these colors. I cannot remember how, but just really messing with it, like it, try not to get too overwhelmed. Like it's just like a playground. Like you just gotta dive in and just figure out where all the cool toys are. All right. Um, let's see. We're gonna not save this. Yeah, we're gonna leave it. Great. Yeah, and when this black bar is up here, that means we're in the view of the customer. Don't remember if I've said that, but so if we look here, yeah, because I didn't save that, it's not there. That's perfect because I didn't want it to be there, all that stuff that I messed up. Oh yeah, that's where I'm not allowed. Okay. If you're like, oh crap, where am I? Like, what do I do? I need to go back to where I was. So you can go back to the back end here, or you could have clicked edit page and it would have taken you, I think, just straight to the pages back end. We just took the long way around. But yeah, and yeah, you're wanting to, you can duplicate, throw away. Preview, I believe, is just the same kind of, you look in the customer's view. Um, yeah, I think that is most of it. It really is like you just have to just dive in. And if you're stuck on something in the front end and you're like, why isn't, like, sometimes moving things around can be difficult in the front end. And so coming to the back end, it's easier to grab and move things. Once you learn kind of what things are looking like, it's kind of easier. Because right here, this is where we were. This is where we changed the format here. We did all of this. We changed it from this to this. And so we're looking at that same thing. It just looks different. And so say I was having a hard time, like maybe these were over here, and I was having a hard time moving them to this section. Like I could just grab it and move it over here like way easier. For some reason, it's like way easier. But yeah, if you're having struggles on one side, you just go to the other side and see if it's easier. It's just like a language you have to learn. All these dividers, they're like everywhere because you can't see them. They're just there to make it look good. And there's a lot of different, like, buttons are pretty easy. You just put a URL in them. Let's look at these. You could pick the size based on what your page is looking like, the different styles. I think I went through these. Yeah, and colors. Cool. Um, I don't know what any of this is. Just ignore it. It's too scary. If you're really trying to get into this, go for it. But wait a second. I'll look at that later. Yeah, well, I think that is it. There are tons of videos on YouTube. It can be difficult because a lot of people will have plugins where here at PG Cares, we do not have any plugins to help us. And so we're only using, what was it? What is it called? Yeah, Bakery Web Pager, WP Bakery Web Pager. That's all we got. All right, well, I think that is it. Hope this helps, and yeah, good luck.